Hey there guys, what's going on? So for the first time in, well, most certainly this channel's history, as well as any of the music related videos I've done in my prior channel's history, I have a little bit of a special guest here, as you can see. You might recognize this, this fantastic physique, this bread loaf exterior from up above on my channel artwork there. And he just happened to be in the area, so to speak, so I thought, why not let him sit in here in this little particular video. I don't believe he has very much input to offer, but we'll see how that goes as the video plays out. And if we just start breaking into uncontrollable laughter because of something funny that he does, well, all the more power to what we're going to do here in this video today. But to get off of the subject of my good friend here, today we're going to talk about, first, we're going to talk about sort of a passionate pursuit, I suppose, a passion project, something that is not on the cusp of release right now, but is in the early news phase, and I, for one, really would like to be the YouTube face of it, because it does feature one of my favorite new bands, my favorite new record of 2013, my number one album of 2013, and it's a big announcement right now. To just stop teasing it, because I over tease these things, it is the Lone Bellow. Their album last year was unbelievable. It was groundbreaking in the folk genre, with the likes of the Mumford & Sons and the Lumineers in the world. This was something completely, while it felt like it was sort of in the same ballpark, it felt like they were hitting a home run even harder and even higher than those guys, with frontman Zach Williams, with Brian Elmquist, with Kaneen Pipkin, with their great band. I have talked about these guys in whatever realm I could manage to in print on my little WordPress page. I've talked about them in prior videos. I've posted things before. I love these guys. I can't say enough, I can't tell you enough about these guys, how special they are. The live experience with them, having seen them, was it 5 times since last year? It's been unbelievable. They are unbelievable. They are a holy musical experience, and I am not the first to say that I believe in holy things, but listening to them in concert is a beautiful, majestic, uplifting, soul, spirit-grabbing kind of experience, and that is the kind of thing that makes you a lifelong fan in about 5 seconds of the first song. But in big news in that regard, very big news, very exciting news, I'm going to tell you first and foremost, as I tell you with some videos, but I mean it with even more just over-the-top, overzealous enthusiasm. I am going to be such a source for anything to do with this record. They have finally announced their second album, their follow-up to their self-titled debut. It is looking very much like, with all the hashtagging and everything, and the art and all the stuff, it is going to be called Then Came the Morning. It is the follow-up. See, look, we're having very cute moments here to go along with the news. It's very good. And they just finished mastering the record yesterday, all reports suggest, with the National's own Aaron Dessner. These guys are moving up in the world so fast, it's crazy, and especially including a guy from one of my other favorite bands who is a great producer, who has done great work with Sharon Van Etten, with Tramp. This is a guy who just appears in places and produces things, and not only makes the Nationals material great, but is an excellent producer. And I couldn't think of anybody who really could lend a raw, free, excellently skilled hand to what these three do, and somebody who would even open up the production style that they incorporated on their first record to sort of be a little bit less glossy and maybe a little bit more raw and a little bit more wide open and a little more, not to say focused, but reaching into a greater level of just whatever they possess, which is just so much talent. And you can go and check this out on their Facebook page. They just posted a bunch of studio photos, a whole bunch of great session photos, a little bit of a teaser sound for what the new single, I'm guessing is going to be the new single, is going to sound like, with more of a full band, kind of an almost marching band, kind of an exterior behind it, with a lot of instrumentation, a lot of things going on for it, which is definitely a bit more different than the more kind of folk rock band kind of take that they did when I saw them at Lincoln Center, which if you look up the Lone Bellow at Lincoln Center with Roseanne Cash and Buddy Miller and Jim Lauderdale, you can get a great perspective of that whole show because they did a great taping, simulcast deal, great quality. You can really hear that song really well. I love it in that incarnation. It seems like it's going to be a little bit different on the record, but that's a great way to hear it, even though they did cut parts of their set, which is just kind of stupid because you're putting it on YouTube and not really for PBS, so what was the point? The overarching point here being there is what appears to be the single out. You can go and hear it in its live form. You can go hear it in the teaser form over on the Lone Bellow's Facebook page. Over on Twitter, they've probably posted some things. I've been following it mostly on Facebook. They look like there's going to be another album teaser thing in about another week. They are on a great little label called Descendant Records, who has another great little band called Colony House that you should check out if you have not heard of them. They're two bands, just Colony House and the Lone Bellow. Very much kind of an upstart thing. Just hot bands, so talented though. And it looks like there's going to be a teaser for Then Came the Morning in another week. It is not soon enough, I can tell you. That much is for certain. There looks like there's going to be a single in less than a month, the first single for it. And with any luck, maybe we'll get it about a January, February release in that early part of the year, as their first record was in January of 2013. It is so hard to believe that as a band, as a fully brought to fruition band with a full record and a whole thing, they are barely over a year old now. It's like they're about to get into their second year, and they've done all this touring and have grown so much in their fan base, and it's such an exciting thing because I have never, in the small little history of years now that I've gotten to take away from this in my life, is in regards to music, I've never gotten to be there for beginnings of great bands and people that I love and respected, whatever tense you prefer there. You know, The National was late, Ryan Adams was late, old and new. I knew of Warren Zevon, who was my groundbreaking expansion into what music was for me, what I was going to be in music as he was dying and making his final record. It was always kind of the end of, you know, listening, kind of going back through back catalogs and hearing what these guys were when they put these things out there, but, you know, maybe their material isn't what it was, and it's like the old stuff is just great, but it's like I wasn't there for it, and it's like, oh, to hear that experience, to be on top of that. And this is what this feeling is that I'm getting with the Lone Bellow, and you are going to be seeing so many videos here of any new news things, any new coverage related to this. I definitely want to do something on Colony House as well, on Descendant, because they are a really interesting kind of newer label going on, but the Lone Bellow stuff is going to be heavy on here. It's going to be so heavy, so interesting. You guys, you got to keep up on it. You got to go and see what this group is about if you have not heard of them by now. I mean, much love to Mumford & Sons for bringing the folk, you know, the folk revolution kind of back to music. Much love to the Lumineers and stuff. But the Lone Bellow, they are a case that is an animal all entirely to itself. And I can't even begin to tell you the miles and leagues and ways that I have been blown over by this band in the time that I've gotten to see them and experience what their music does. And it's so powerful and so potent, and my expectation and my excitement level for an album has not been like this since I got into this genre, this everything, this whole music game, since I started doing stuff on YouTube, all of that. My anticipation level has never been higher. You guys, you got to check them out. The Lone Bellow, you can go find them on Facebook, you can go find them on Twitter, you can go find them on your Tumblrs, your Tweeties, your everything. You can go see clips of them on YouTube. There's a nice full concert up on YouTube, obviously the Lincoln Center one, but there's a Mill City Nights one up there that's really excellent. And you guys, you gotta go check them out. Such dynamically talented performers. They let it bleed, they let it ride, they let it roll, to quote Ryan Adams. They leave it all on the stage. And I have never witnessed such intense passion for what true ability is in this music game until I've seen these three work their craft, and they are mind-blowing. So go check it out. The Lone Bellow, Then Came the Morning, single coming in less than a month, new record hopefully by the start of the new year. A great way to kick off the new year. You got to stick with this, guys. Keep it here. So much stuff still to come. Stay tuned.